What is up, Need for Speed racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut, and we're here with the Mercedes-AMG A45, the little hatchy boy. This is the car you use to go unlock all of the other Mercedes that you might want to use. I recently did a build video on the GTS, the Roadster. A lot of people really liked that car. People have been asking for a Mercedes. And then a bunch of people in the comments were like, hey, how did you get that car unlocked? What car did you use for your unlocks? Well, this is it. I wanted to bring it to you so you guys that are trying to unlock that car have this in your stable. I'm going to go full transparency here. I'm not crazy about this car. It's not bad. In a regular lobby against, a pool of average players, this car does just fine. It's going to hold its own. It's really going to come down to the driver mod. Myself running the Cornnut crew, racing guys that are the upper echelon of what is speed, I was struggling to keep up with the F40, the R34, a few of the other A-class cars that we've got that are really good. So this isn't as good as those. So if you're looking for a meta car to go and win in the A series, this probably isn't it. But if you're looking for the best A-class car that you can build to go unlock the other good Mercedes cars out there, this is probably what you want to use. So let's dig into it. Side note before we start on that, the music on this video is produced by James Gessler. Some of you guys might know him as the Healy guy. He's on YouTube. He reached out to me and he had some music that he wanted me to use or was interested in see if I wanted to use it, and I was very happy with it. I went back and forth with him a little bit. He put in some extra work for me because none of my music that I release on the build videos, like what we're listening to now, which this is Cruise Control by James Gessler, none of it has lyrics. And all the music he sent me originally had lyrics in it. I was like, well, my man, I don't do stuff with lyrics, so, if you come up with something that doesn't have that, let me know. And a few days later, boom, in my inbox was a handful of songs for me to start using. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the community as a whole, kind of coming together and helping me out and do stuff. So showing up and bringing me some tunes to blast while I'm doing the build videos is really cool. So check him out in the comments. His YouTube link will be down there. Maybe go give him some love. I'd appreciate that. I'm sure he would too. Other than that, you guys are here for the build, so let's dig in. For the engine in this vehicle, you are running all the way to the left. It is the first motor. It is the Bronze Sport 2.0 liter inline 4, 355 brake horsepower when we start. For the parts, you are running the Bronze Sport induction. You are running the Bronze Sport ECU. You are running Bronze Sport fuel system. You are running the Silver Pro exhaust. You are running the Silver Pro Roots supercharger. I'll talk about the other combinations I tried after we get done with the build. I'll come back to it. You are running the Bronze Sport nitrous. You are running Elite Platinum road suspension. You are running Silver Pro brakes. You are running Elite Platinum grip tires. Silver Pro clutch. Bronze Sport 5-speed transmission. Elite Platinum differential. Auxiliary up to you. I'm running nitrous grip. I'm running nitrous drift. Doing some micro drifts in this car to keep the boost up so that way I can maintain as much speed as possible. It's a struggle bus to keep this car up to speed. It doesn't love it. It's not bad in the short track, but it loses its legs at about 140. Handling, full Beyonce, 100% to the left. Full grip, steering sensitivity, that's on you. Do whatever you set for yourself, whatever's comfortable. I run it 2 clicks to the right of center. For the downforce, this is mega important. The only way this works for this build, if you are center, it is 4 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is A209. Every other position is A210, A210, A211. It goes up from there. But that's the only place you're going to get A209 is 4 clicks from center to the right. Run it there with this build, the only way you can do it, period, with all these parts. Traction control is on. In this case, it's supposed to be off. I think I clicked it earlier when I was setting stuff up. But traction control is off. Drift entry is brake tap. All of that is going to give you the AMG A45, the little hatchy boy. Top speed is 157. That's true. It does maybe 158 with some redline tech. 397 on the horsepower. Max torque 368. I said I wanted to come back to the parts and kind of walk you through it. I tried different stuff. I tried just regular sport everything, and then I went with a gold super centrifugal, and with a couple of changes to the handling, you can get that right at to 209. It gives you a little higher top speed, gives you more horsepower, gives you more torque. I'll be very just transparent with you. The car sucks doing that. It just wasn't nearly as fast. I also tried this build with the single turbo. It wasn't working, wasn't holding its own. This car really does much better with the supercharger. It helps it out kind of everywhere in the gear, and it was just really lagging everywhere else. And even though this car is not optimal, you're going to get walked on by the F40, you're going to lose the R34 Skyline. If all drivers are equal, this car loses to those other cars for sure. And there's other cars as well that it doesn't do well against. The Porsche Cabriolet, the GSX Eclipse, the RS even walks this thing pretty easy. So all of that being said, you really need to be as optimal with the build as you can to stay as close to those cars as you can. So run the supercharger, get that going. I also tried regular suspension with lesser tires to try to give me some more points to put in it. And at the end of the day, road suspension is the deal, you guys. Road suspension with grip tires allows the car to accelerate really well. When you are on pavement, a car with less horsepower and torque but that has the road suspension and the grip tires is going to perform better than one that has lesser suspension and tires but more horsepower. I tried multiple combinations. Myself and my man Condor, we were running the same car because he was getting the unlocks and I was developing it to find out, hey, which one is actually the best for the build video, because I just kind of set it and forget it. And as it turns out, suspension is important. I've seen some builds floating around. Some people have brought me some builds recently. Just kind of a note for you guys to pin in there and kind of keep in the back of your minds when you're doing your builds. If you go off-road suspension and you go off-road tires so you can cram a ton of horsepower in the car, it might do really good on one track to go after a certain time. You'll see some of these guys that are in different crews and different things, they're going for like lap times on tracks. On specific tracks, you do run off-road because you're not taking huge penalties by doing that. But if you are going to build a car to do all of the playlists and just play online with your friends and you're just trying to get your wins in, you don't ever want to do that. You just don't. Your car is going to suffer every time it hits the tarmac. Your car is going to suffer every time you need to do a grip turn. Your car is going to suffer every time you do a 90-degree corner inside of a city if you have off-road suspension and tires. I don't care how much horsepower you pack in there. Give me two cars, one that's all crazy with off-road and one that's built by myself or Nil that is set up for road racing. That road racing car is going to take more playlists than the off-road build. I'm not saying that that's not a good build for specific tracks, because they are. I've seen them used that way. And more often than not, those builds are used by top-tier drivers. Those drivers build that car for their preference, their driving style, and then if that gets shared around and stuff, people think that they need to do that. But if you're not driving at that level, you can't do it. There's a reason that in some cases, some people are saying, hey, this is a good build, but then you watch the video and they're not even driving the car. They're somebody else's gameplay footage. It's like, oh, maybe you can't drive the car. Maybe it's not that good for everybody. So I digress. Just keep in mind when we're doing this stuff, you guys, that I'm trying to build cars for the masses that everybody can pick up and go run with. And so that's what I'm bringing to you. Take a look at the thumbnail. There's a reason this car is parked up next to a garbage can. Other than that, big shout out to James. Thank you so much for the music. Go check out his YouTube channel. I got 3 races after this, so you can see how the car handles. It's not terrible, but there's definitely like 6 or 7 cars that are a lot better. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, follow if you made it this far in the video. I'm thankful for all you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Alrighty, race 1, the drain. This track is pretty technical when you actually get down to the drain at the end of the track, but the first part is just keeping your turns together and not drifting too much. I launched this car in 3rd gear on this playlist. I like 3rd, I like 4th. Both gears are good. 4th feels like it was a little sluggish. 3rd feels good. Takes you right to the top when you run out of boost, and then you shift into 4th right as you're running out of nitrous. So I would recommend that. For you automatic players, don't you worry. Just get a perfect launch and set in the car. Condor and myself are both running the same build, and so him and I are just doing an exhibition of the car. He's doing it for the unlocks. I was doing it for the video. So that being said, we're pushing along, keeping it tight through here. I drift and shave a ton of speed, so try not to drift too far, you guys. Just keep it down to the micro drift level. Outside of that, I'm staying as tight as I can, trying to also get draft at the same time. This car isn't that bad to drive in a pub lobby. If you're a decent driver, it's going to feel fast and you're going to do fine. Against meta heavy cars, like I was running against the crew the night after I got this footage, I was struggling pretty hard, because guys that are fast in cars that are faster makes it a very uphill battle in this vehicle. I get a little off balance there, hit the curbs, which makes the car hard to steer, so that's why I clipped the wall. Staying to the inside on the left there, just barely nicking the checkpoint, keeping as tight a line as possible, and then getting that near miss and using my boost exactly after that to try to get back up to speed. Condor's right behind us. He just popped a 3 boost to catch up to us, and that's why he's carrying more speed into the drain. This is a very tricky thing for a lot of people. Wall riding is difficult. You'll see that Condor gets off balance there. I do as well. He ends up crashing. I got lucky and didn't. The trick that you want to do is you want to go up the wall so that as you turn and come back down, you actually go down the drop. I do it once here. I go up the wall here and then come down the long part of the drop and gain lots of speed. The second time I don't, but hey, I didn't crash. I'll take it. There is a certain way to do that. I will be doing probably a tips and tricks video on how to walk you guys through the best to accomplish that. Off the grid. This is a very fun one. Nil's running that Porsche. Be looking out for that build video. It's coming soon. That's a very good car. Alright, we launch in third. We're going to try to run down our man Bo. He is fast in that R34. So we're going to chase him down. We're going to stay in the draft. When you're drafting, you don't have to be right behind the car. You just need to be within a car's width of it. So if my mirror is behind his car, I'm still in the draft. We use our drafting and our grip turn there. I was a gear low, and so I hit the boost before I shifted, so I kind of wasted some of that boost. Nonetheless, Nil is in that Porsche. That car is a slayer. Be looking for that one. Other than that, we are going to try to use our boost to catch back up to Condor because he is flying. On these corners, be really careful, you guys. I use my boost to get a nice grip turn, keeping out of the way of traffic. Right here, I cut to the very inside, do a nice rounded line, cut through the grass. Shoot for the inside of these checkpoints. You'll see I'm going like basically through the green or the red bar and just making as tight a corner as possible while still staying on the concrete or cutting through the grass if necessary. It's fine if you go wide, but it's better to take a nice sharp rounded corner so that way you can carry lots of speed. Through here we stay to the inside. Try to avoid any traffic. Be careful. Traffic will sneak up on you in these areas, you guys. From here, we cut kind of a straighter line if we can. Staying in the middle. Staying right here. Going to cut to the inside. Get up on the dirt. Cut a straight line through there. There's a lot of different ways to take this. The main thing is staying on the pavement to the best of your ability so you can maintain speed and not interacting with traffic. If you have to hit the brakes to avoid an accident, you're going to lose so much speed that it's really tough. Here, if you take a nice wide line and you continue that corner, you're going to get a boost. You use that boost bar through that corner to maintain speed to collect another one. I get a near miss there to bump it up, and then use all that to get up to speed. Take a tight line through there, a tight left line here, get up on the sidewalk a little bit. I'm going to get up and get near misses on traffic. I let the boost bar kind of slow down a little bit. Hit the e-brake and then accelerate using boost. The whole deal was hitting that oncoming traffic or the parked cars and getting that near miss is the nuts right there. So that way you can save your boost bar and use it for that corner. Through here we just keep a tight line, keep it on the concrete. Other cars you can get on the dirt a little bit, but really this car doesn't love that. Using any boost we get just to get back up to speed. Down here you're going to get a grip turn here, and then if you can save it for this corner, you want to use it at the tail end, but I wasn't able to carry it through, so get a little bit of a drift, use all the boost to get back up to speed, use all of our nitrous as well, and just carry as much speed through here as possible, finishing up this track. This is a pretty complex track. If you guys have interest, might do a track map for this one, kind of walk you through some of the nuances. Other than that, pretty clean run. Alright, third race, the OG. Our opponent is running that i8. That poor car looks cool, it's just not very fast. Regardless, we're going to launch in third gear. Give it a nice click there. You can run this car in an automatic, you guys, it does just fine. But like I say, for manual players, I got to show you guys how to shift. For you auto players, just watch the lines. We do a great grip turn there, a little drift at the end. The curb kind of threw us into one, but regardless, we use our boost to get up to speed, use all of our nitrous as well. This is a very long straightaway, so you want to use all of your boost and NOS at the start to get up to speed, to carry that top speed as much as possible. We get a nice little grip turn there, which I use all the boost to get another grip turn, which I use for this corner to chain that all together to get another grip turn to use that boost, and then take it nice and tight there, avoid those pillars, and get a grip turn and accelerate out. That was a very good combination of corners. It allows us to carry a lot of speed through there and just keep our overall speed up. Bo's right behind us in that R34. Condor's right next to him. I mean, they're chasing us. I brake, I get nice and tight. The way the line sets up, I go between the pillar and that concrete. That is not a safe line. It's not always faster. So I wouldn't recommend doing that unless that's just how the corner gets set up for you. Because it's a risk versus reward, and the reward isn't worth the risk when you clip. Ask me how I know. So I get a grip turn back there. I try to do another one, but I don't turn sharp enough. So our combo on these set of corners isn't nearly as good as last lap. I brush up next to all of those parked cars to get near misses. Aim for the inside of that corner to avoid the pillars on the left-hand side. We use all of our resources once again to get up to speed. Carrying that speed through here. See if we can get a little bit of air time. See how we almost get 1 bar of yellow? It's just not quite enough. Sometimes in other cars you can jump there and get a bar of yellow and really get it going. But overall, that's a fast OG. Car does decent. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.